Hi darlings, welcome back. I'm Alexis and I'm so excited for today's video. A couple pieces of housekeeping. First, if you like this video, if you find it helpful, please comment, like it, get it boosted so we can help even more lovely petite women. And please, of course, subscribe. I've been a little lacking in motivation since I just started. This is probably my third video. So the more that I see you guys and the more I have your support and you kind of give me feedback, the more I'll be able to do because the better I'll feel about it, if I'm being honest. So other than that, as this is my third video, I know I've been kind of all over my house in different places and things look a little different every video, so I do apologize for that, but really trying to figure out what is the best lighting, seating, the best kind of area. This is my home office. I have a little picture that my brother made me for Christmas. Some academic stuff, my TV, my printer. So it felt, I don't know, kind of professional, and we got lots of space to like spread on out. So today we're gonna try it here. I think I like the lighting, honestly. I feel like you can see my face. And yeah, I like it. So moving on, getting right to it. Today I want to talk about some petite styling ideas and tips. I feel like a lot of the time as a petite person, we think that if we just get regular clothes and like hem them, that they're gonna fit right and it'll be fine. And the way it looks on a model or the way that it looks in a stock photo is how it's going to look on us. And that couldn't be further from the truth. So you probably already know that, but what do you do about it? What can you do to make things fit a little bit better? We're gonna go through that. So I have 10 tips and style suggestions for styling clothes in a way that's super flattering and creates balance. So let's do it. Okay, so first and foremost, being petite, I think I've talked about this before, but we're gonna say it again. It is a classification that means or is defined as being 5'4" or less, or under. So I'm 5 foot even. I stopped growing in the 8th grade and I've been this height since then. So there are some differences that you should pay attention to when you're petite. Just because you're short does not mean that you have the same body type. So I want to clarify, petite has nothing to do with your physical width size. It doesn't matter if you're a size 2 or a size 24. If you are 5'4" or under, you're still classified as petite. But the difference in body type has a huge impact on how things look on you. So for example, I have a longer torso and incredibly short legs, where there are other people who have a very short torso and long legs, but they're still under 5'4". You get what I'm saying? You following me? Okay, so what you want to do is pay attention to the shape of your body, the proportions of your body, and you want to work with them, not against them. And sometimes people aren't necessarily working against them, but they're just not paying attention to them altogether. So what we want to do is highlight those, and this is how we do that. Trick number 1, dress in the rule of thirds. So your body is one long vertical line. We're going to talk a lot about lines today, so get used to that term. One long vertical line. And then you want to break that into thirds. You can include your head if you want, but really it kind of starts here, and then we're gonna go to like midsection, and then midsection to about close to the knee, and the knee down is how most people would probably define thirds, but there is some nuance and some variance in there to be sure. And so what you want to do when you're creating any outfit is work with those thirds. So whether you wear a midi dress that hits just at the knee, just above the knee, you've got 2/3 of your top that has a line, and then that bottom third is cut visually by your skin and the dress ending. Same thing as wearing a really tall, like thigh-high boot, and then that meeting the hem of a skirt. That's 2/3 taken up, and then we're gonna accentuate the waist. So that would be 1/3 up here. That's broken up by a different color, different pattern, different fit of material, if you're following me. So hopefully that makes sense. When dressing, you always want to pick one. So if you're wearing something that is flowy, and let's say a flowy skirt specifically, that is a little longer, it's a midi. Well, we want to continue those lines. So we want to make sure that it always hits at the waist, so that this top third can be separated from the other 2/3. I know there's a lot of numbers, and I hope this makes sense. But what you're doing is creating proportions and balance. Now, where that hits on you is going to be a slightly different place than everybody else, just because, like I said, everybody's body is different, but you want to look at yourself in the mirror and kind of break yourself into thirds visually. Where is that kind of third spot for you? Wherever it is, try to dress yourself where you're accentuating each of those spots. Sometimes that's going to be right at the waist or at the small of the waist up here. Sometimes that's going to be, like we said before, at the knees. Sometimes you're going to do a maxi, like full floor length, and that's like one whole 3/3, so one whole piece. Sometimes you might want to do monochromatic, and that's going to create the same kind of effect where it's just one long, very line that's not broken up at all. So when you're breaking them up, break them in thirds. Okay, 2. Always, always, always tuck in your shirt. It makes a huge difference. When you leave it untucked, you are, 1, eliminating the shape that your body already naturally has. So it's just hanging there and it's not doing anything for you. But like working in those sets of 3 and those thirds, when you accentuate the waist and you tuck your shirt in, it creates a 2/3 at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So now we have a longer looking line on the bottom. Our legs look elongated. And this isn't about trying to be taller per se, but visually elongating just creates nice proportions and balance. And that is the goal of petite dressing as a whole. We want proportions and we want balance. So always tuck in your shirts. It can be whatever tuck you like. If you want it to be a tight tuck that's all the way around your body, that's fine. If you want it to be a French tuck where it's just in the front, that's fine. As long as you're accentuating that waist and really highlighting the small in the middle, you're gonna thank me. Trust me. Also you could do like a twisted knot kind of situation, or you can just also do a crop if you don't want to tuck. If you're not someone who is into tucking shirts and you just want to have a crop, then you can do that as well. When you are, number 3, sorry, we're moving on. When you are buying clothes, you want to pay attention to more than just the hem. A lot of the time we think that the only thing that we need to fix is just the hem, but I also want you to pay attention to where the shoulder seam hits, where the sleeve length hits, where the inseam in your jeans is hitting, where it hits in the waist. Pay attention to all of those measurements because they are not necessarily petite friendly in regular sizing all the time. Okay, number 4, wear high-waisted and wide leg pants. Now, just to preface, this is probably not for everyone. I know that there are some people who just don't like them, and that's, their prerogative. It's totally fine. But when you wear a high-waisted pant, you're again working in those thirds and you're creating a very long 2/3 line on your bottom half. It makes your legs look incredibly long, and it just creates a really beautiful elongated illusion. On the side of wide leg pants, when you wear a wide leg, it also kind of makes your legs look like they just go on for days. Ideally, if you can get those to be hemmed right at the floor, as opposed to, by the ankle bone, it'll look even better. So if you're looking for some new pieces to add or some staples for your wardrobe, highly recommend. Literally could not push this more. Wide leg pants, especially wide leg trousers, and high-waisted pants. Number 5, we kind of already touched on. Accentuate your waist. So before we talked about tucking in your shirt to accentuate your waist, but it's not just that. If you're wearing a really flowy dress, it's going to be much more flattering and kind of create those proportions and balance if you add a belt to it. It doesn't have to be gaudy, doesn't have to be really big or sparkly, but accentuating the waist in all of your outfits is going to make a really, really big difference, and it's going to allow for, again, vertical lines, more elongating. We want to add all the shape that we can. Number 6, I think we're on, is trying unique necklines. So I don't have the best example today because this is just a regular V-neck, but if I were to kind of like unbutton this and have it go to here, this line is a totally different line, and now like a lot more of my collarbone is exposed, and it creates a visual pull up to my face. So we really want to experiment with what looks best in a neckline, and that also is going to kind of create some visual height in an illusion because you're bringing attention to the top of your body. So people are kind of seeing the full effect, the full length. So try something off the shoulder, one shoulder, high neck, asymmetrical, cowl neck. There are so many options that you can try, and I highly recommend giving those a go. Let's see, what are we on? Number 7? Yes, wear monochromatic. So a lot of people struggle with this because they think that monochromatic is boring and it means just wearing like one singular color. And that could not be further from the truth. We don't want to wear just like one uniform solid. I mean, I guess you really could if you were going for a particular look. Like say you found this really gorgeous like emerald green suit and you wanted that head to toe. It's a look and that'd be beautiful and you should do it. But in general, when we're talking about monochromatic, we're talking about the same color, but different shades of the same color. And what that does is create, again, a full picture, long line that is not interrupted anywhere. So it just makes your body look nice and long and really balanced. So I think you'll be really surprised. And an easy way to give this a try is to like throw on black jeans, black boots or heels or shoes, whatever, and then try it on with a white t-shirt. And then after that, switch it and try it on with a black t-shirt or a black shirt that you own. And look at the difference in how long that line is kind of accentuated and created by just making that switch into a singular color, but different shades. We don't want it to be boring. Number 9 is wear the right shoes. I did a whole video last week or the week before, I think, on the best shoes to wear as a petite. But it's so important, I'm gonna reiterate it. When you have the opportunity to keep continuing the line of your leg, you always wanna do it. So if you're wearing something that stops at the ankle, you want to wear a nude heel so it kind of matches the exposed skin. And then you also want to match whatever color you're wearing if that color goes further down your leg. So what I mean by that, if you're wearing a longer black skinny jean, it's going to look better if you put it with a black pair of shoes as opposed to a pair of jeans that are a little bit cropped at the ankle and you have some of that skin exposed. That's when you'd want to wear the nude. Make sense? Okay, I know it's a lot to follow. I'm trying to cram a lot in a short amount of time. And then lastly, my 10th tip, use repetition. This is like a foundational fashion rule that everybody follows, and really has been at the foundation of creating fashion since, I don't know, the beginning of fashion. Repetition is what creates cohesiveness. So if you are wearing, for example, a patterned shirt that has pink on it, and then you're wearing a different color bottom, let's say a white skirt, or a pair of jeans, if you included that pink again in your shoe, it would create a long line because our eyes are naturally going to be drawn to that pink color that's matched in those two spots. So it's adding that visual line again, making those really pretty proportions and creating balance and just elongating. So another way that you can incorporate repetition is trying hair accessories. You can wear a hat. You can wear like a thick headband. You can accentuate with your shoes, with your belt, with your bag. There are lots of ways to incorporate repetition, but the more that you do, if you can get 2 to 3 pieces that have the same color repeated in your outfit, everything's gonna look so much more chic and refined, but really didn't take any more effort. You just coordinated a color, and everybody can do that. So I recommend you do that, as well as the 9 other tips that I've put together. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something and there's something for you to give a try, maybe this weekend, later next week when you're getting ready for work. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if you found this helpful. Let me know if you liked it, what you would like to see next. Drop it all. I want to hear it. Also, let me know what you think of this space. If you're liking the desk kind of office-y vibe, I think I'm kind of a fan of the lighting, so we might stay here. We'll see. But thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.